New York, New York. You're back in the A. What's good?
My girl, Roxy, in the house. Welcome to Raising the Bar.
Yeah, man.
We have, it's been a long time since we spoke last. A lot of stuff going on. Watching you on Facebook.
Bun up.
Yeah, you are supporter of party. I guess it's that's pretty cool that the party has a monarch, a multi crowned monarch under their belt, promoting them, helping them to take home the win. I might jump into conclusions. I mean, I see the yellow one, the yellow one.
You jump into no conclusions.
So okay, good.
You know everybody you know. You hear it in my calypsos. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. To be honest, any government that really drop the ball will get it.
Yeah.
You know, regardless. It just so happened that this government seems to be dropping the ball a lot.
Yes, we're in agreement with that. We don't agree on everything, but
Yeah.
I think what's good about us is that, and this is something I think that politicians need to learn to do. We can still always come to a table, discuss things, shoot it out, like we used to do with the organization. We talk about what's best for the organization. Sometimes you may not agree with the majority. Sometimes I may not agree with the majority, but we have decided that we would go with the majority, and we've practiced that, which you've done in the past. So this is nothing new for you, but we are, I think, being a good example for politicians and how they should behave. Be able to come to the table, because you know how there's frustration now and all of this tension with politicians that they don't even speak, they can't talk, they get enemies.
No.
They got,
Everybody just trying to go viral. That's what it's all about. Who will do the most actions?
Yes.
Who could say the most funny thing?
Outrageous, or
I want to be.
a lot of humor.
You know, they want to wake up and be the next meme next month. That's what it's all about. Please.
Oh man, I was calling them Kevin Hart's and all this other stuff. But you're right. Well, what I wanted to do too is, I said that people, especially those not living in Anguilla, they're not like on the grounds to know sometimes everything that's going on.
Correct.
You know, and people would make things sound sweet depending on who you're with or what agenda that they have in mind. So I was saying it would be a good idea for somebody like yourself and myself to get together and explain what we're feeling, what's really happening, you know, and give them an idea. Because they throw out these big things, but they don't talk about like the stuff surrounding some of the issues. You know, for example, there's talk about, let's say, when they say progress, people watch like the building part.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm like, the people, we could have buildings, skyscrapers, we could have all of this stuff, but if the people that's going to be in the skyscrapers, who are employed in the skyscrapers, are not doing well, it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be that, you know,
so the country actually looks like it's doing well, and people actually catching hell. To be honest.
Lyrics.
I'm just saying.
Extempo.
This is the reality of it, though. I mean, you know, it ain't about politics and all this stuff like that. The reality is that people have been crying from day one. Like the first time I actually felt first time in a long time, I felt proud to be Anguillan.
Yeah.
I remember that day I had to go walk the march with a GST. And I called my boss, tell my boss, look, are you running late? Because I got to do this thing.
Yeah.
They said, I'm a local national ambassador, and I got to stand up for my people.
Yes,
and I felt proud in that moment.
Yes.
You know, to be Anguillan.
Yes.
So I feel like, you know, a lot of people, you know, crying on the radio, you know, if you're tuning in, If you're not, then you don't know what's happening. Yeah. But the fact is that this was bold in your face. This was one of the biggest, you know, biggest cries out for the nation. Yeah.
Well, I have a family member as well as a friend, and we were all talking about doing some sort of platform that we could, you know, express ourselves and what's going on. Just like I said, people that's on the grounds. And my main thing was like, it has to be that you're getting the facts, right? Not this, you know, people leaving things out. I was going to even call it like, you got to bring your receipts, you know what I'm saying? Because the stories,
I like that.
It switches up on people, right? So we're going to go with that in mind as we move forward. Yeah. I know one of the big issues that you had of late was the Junior Calypso competition.
Oh, yeah, make the hair stand on my hand here today.
Right? So I said, you know, that's something that, you know, we should really hear what transpired, what's your take on the whole thing. And I'm sure that we have similar thoughts because, you know, I've been one also fighting for the art form and for us to progress as entertainers on the island, as, you know, Calypsonians, and we are mentors to the Calypsonians, to the junior Calypsonians. So I think we have sort of our receipts there where we can say we were involved. This ain't some hearsay and we're hearing it from other people.
Exactly. We're very much involved. We're very much on the inside. You know, we attend these meetings, we get these calls, we get these emails, late emails, you
Yes.
know. But either way, we know exactly what's going on. So we're not just spitting stuff, we're actually spitting facts.
Exactly.
That's the reality of it. But I mean, you know, I went from being very, very, very excited for a show that was non-existent for the past 5 years because of lack of participation, lack of, you know, assistance with the kids themselves, just overall lack with Department of Youth and Culture not having enough support to actually bring that show forward because it always needed something to cradle it. You know, always Junior Calypso with Prince and Princess, Junior Calypso with Talented Teen.
Yeah.
It was just always seemed to be a show that couldn't carry the weight, and then it just suddenly disappeared.
Yes.
So I went from being very excited that it came back to being very disappointed with the outcome. You know, you had about 12 children, 12.
Wow.
12 kids
entering
into a show only to learn that, you know, they were not finalizing anything with the kids, and parents were very frustrated. The day of the show was a very, very rainy day. It felt like it was not being promoted enough. I stepped in, I got involved, I said to the parents, as well as the organizers, let's organize a Calypso tent. We did it over like Christie's, like the seniors do.
Yes.
And people loved it. And you know, the feedback from the committee was, why would you guys do a tent the night that we're doing Crossfire down by Aurora, and who approved this? And it was like, are you guys hearing yourself? There's children who going to see Crossfire, going to see Crossfire.
Yes.
Who come to see the youth, come to see the youth
True,
at the end of the day. But there was like a lack in support. Like there was no media there, none of that stuff. And of course, all these things come at a price, a small price. Because at the end of the day, you can literally pay Lloyd $50, or you can ask Lloyd for a contribution of kind to come and do a live.
Yeah.
But you know, or you can get people like me who don't make no money for doing it, the initiative, but doing it just because you love it.
Yes.
And I was there, I supported them, and I recorded it. I happened to be mentoring 2 students, Princess Paige and my niece, Aliyah, Lil Stinger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I heard her song playing on the radio even.
Where the forgotten ones.
Forgotten one, yes.
The
And you see how
forgotten
that played out, how it actually is like really appropriate for the situation that you're going through.
Very appropriate, because she sang her song was actually about the show being non-existent for 5 years, and then, you know, it was a total disaster to see, just to cut straight to the point, it was a total disaster.
Don't forget what you're going to say, but while we mention that song, you want to big up the writer. It's up to you. Who's the writer of that song for the Forgotten Ones?
The writer of the Forgotten Ones was Brian London.
Big up to Brian London.
So big up to
Let's
Brian
big
in a
up
big way.
Lloyd as well, because I did some work with Lloyd, and Lloyd tries to work with the community. So
for sure. But they can only do work in a capacity that they know. You understand? So the right people have to be doing the right thing, not Jack pick up the phone and be like, hey, you could come and be like, so you're on a committee? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it becomes your responsibility some way, somehow. And you know, as well as I know, it's not cheap to be a mentor, because one, you got to pick up these kids, you got to carry them practice. They had a band, they got to go band practice as well. You got to carry for fitting. You got to beg the parents.
Yes.
Right? And parents, I know you guys love your children, but I know that when it comes to these things that you're not really used to, you're like, so the studio costs this, you want and you want this, and you want that. It becomes very expensive. It's even more expensive than a pageant show. You know? And you got to beg the parents to invest and tell them that it's going to be worth the while, because if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
That's right.
And you got to get props involved. And you got to get people involved. And you got to get audio recordings.
Preach it, sister.
It's a lot.
Who's not involved don't realize all
parts.
this stuff.
It's a lot of moving parts, and those who have it, and those who don't. And at the end of the day, these parents are doing it because they love their children, not because, you know, they want to help Carnival put on a show. It's not about that. Everybody can't be the winner. These kids are trained, and they are, you know, coerced to know everybody's going to get something, and all these things like that. However, there can only be one winner. These are the places. And at the end of the day, they want them to respect and love each other. And that's what they did.
Exactly.
They really groomed, they loved each other's songs, they picked numbers. Right there by Christy Bar. Imagine that.
Yes.
Didn't happen before. Didn't happen before. It just so happened that who was going to go first? No one knew. They needed to pick numbers. It happened right there on the spot. You know, and instead of us getting the support and you know, pick a few of the Californians and say, hey, can you help us to make this show great?
Yeah.
That's what should have happened. That's what didn't happen. And then in the end of it all, people came out, saw children singing, and they got 10% of what they were supposed to get, which makes no sense. Up to today's date, from July 31st, 2024 to the new year.
I'm glad you clarified that, because just like other things you would hear, they've been paid already. you know, so I'm glad you're here on this date to state where we're at right now as far as the junior Calypsonians being paid. What was the prize? What should it have been? What were they promised?
It was my understanding that as it relates to the recording, that the department was assisting, the committee was paying Justin Richardson, big up mustache one time.
Yes.
He worked hard with all the juniors, you know.
Farm recording.
It's not easy with them because sometimes you tell them to do it over, they're like, oh, I don't want to do it.
And you see now, I need you sometimes to go through this thing slow because now you're talking about like with the farm, what they go through and what you guys go through.
Yeah.
This is what I'm visualizing now. Behind the scenes, right? You may approach maybe a parent. You see some sort of potential in the child.
Yeah.
And then she or he, the parent has to persuade the child or encourage the child and go for it or whatever. And then you have this thing where a lot of people don't want to be on stage because of natural fright of being on the stage, as well as the audience sometimes booing you if you slip up, if you make a mistake, you know, not giving you what you want. It's like with the Queen shows.
It's your first time.
Your first time, all it is. And at the end of the day, to hear now where you guys are at with such a letdown. And letdown from who? Authorities, those who are supposed to be, you know,
building you up, but instead breaking you down.
Breaking you down. So, and it took a while. I mean, you talk about numbers of 12. I remember there was times where we couldn't get, 3, 4 together to do something. Okay, now it was the 50th, so I guess that was a help to get more people to come through. And that promise for the 50 is what, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, you know, you teased them, you got them on board, you did everything that was...
Yeah, we're bringing the junior calypso back.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. Yeah.
We're doing it. We're bringing them back.
I feel you.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
A bunch of balloons.
We bring it. You running around behind the scenes. Mustache doing his thing. The others, whoever you want to big up that helped you get the juniors off the ground.
Baker Jr. was there in the cut as well, doing some mentoring and just overall giving him the history of calypso because it's more than just being in it. Learn this song, sing this song. You actually need to know what you're doing. I remember when Baker used to mentor me and he would have these words in my song and say, but why do you have to have such a big word? And he say, well, this is what the meaning of it is, and this is how it relates to your song, and this is what it is. He really is really thorough with it. I mean, going as far as getting those children so involved that they actually pick their own calypso names, which is even more exciting and more enthusiastic. But you could see the show was spiraling out of control when it comes to parents asking, you know, what's the price is going to be? Yeah. I have invested this in my child, you know.
But did the parents see somebody else, or like you were the face, you and Baker were the face of this thing?
Well, there were some parents that didn't want to be involved because of the chairman, period. I would say that.
That's like, that was the Calypso situation as well. But go ahead. And
I understand.
Once they heard, I was the sort of the face of that, where it was like, nah.
Correct.
Not again.
Correct.
But I understand what you're saying.
So I was asked as a mentor to be there and present in this chat, in this conversation, as a guardian for my child that I was responsible for. You understand? So it's like, you know, putting all the information, not getting the information, and then you kind of like, you call on the back end to be like, hey, these parents are really concerned because they're seeing what, you know, but not everybody gonna open up. Not everybody gonna ask questions, but your phone is the one that ringing off the hook. Hey, you know anything about this? We're gonna get some kind of money to help us going and what? Nothing. Nothing. Where's the participation funds? You talk about big participation funds for senior calypsonians, but get $2,500 just to show them face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Each of them, I can't remember how many people. I just know there was a lot of paid outs.
Well, just recently, gold rings were given out. When, you know, like you said, it was put out there like we're helping or we're doing something for the juniors. You got people behind the scenes that's doing most of the work, but this would look good for the 50th anniversary. At the end of the day, the children, and this is the part I don't understand, right? About like, sorry if we're swaying into politics, but I'm about everything, life in general. We could go anywhere, right? How could somebody support the children not getting paid?
You know, the biggest...
It has to be your child for you to be concerned? Is that what it is?
The biggest concern for me, I would say, in this whole ordeal is that, number one, there was a public lie where, the children got paid.
Yeah.
You understand? I continue to pose this to bring awareness. I was even called by the chairman and asked which one of your children in the show didn't get paid, because I know you don't. And I said, you're very disrespectful, one, because I have a child that I mentored.
Yes.
2 children that I mentored. Both of them were not paid. How are you so sure because the children were paid? Don't lie to me. These parents call me.
Yes.
Every time they see me post, they call me.
Sometimes those tricks are played.
They say, hold on. These parents were literally told, begged, do not go on Class FM.
Yeah.
Please don't go on Class FM.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Carnival done. Everybody look at them, went on vacation. Who went Colombia? Who went Jamaica? Don't know. But people just disappeared.
Money to spend.
These children wasn't paid. They were waiting on book vouchers and all these things. The parents that were asking for it, like you said, politics aside, parents that were asking for it every single day, all of a sudden, it's being worked on.
Yeah. I'm sure some of that vacation money could have taken care of them.
I'm saying.
Listen.
Vacation money alone, you're talking about $15,000 owed to children. $15,000 EC dollars.
Yeah.
When you got big stages coming up every day, and you got performers over. I ain't see no children.
That's an issue I got.
No past winners being called to perform. I ain't see none of that. I don't see any of that happening.
None of that happened. Wow. So
But before I go too far, so it was the lie about the children being paid, and then now this public announcement on the podium stating that Carnival never pays their winners within a year. So you lied, just to confirm. You lied.
Yeah.
You 100% lied.
And that's what we gotta pause sometimes. Let's get this out the way. You're lying. You're lying.
First of all, you're a liar.
Yes, let's start there with that.
Second
If people want to skip that part, they're gonna run to now. Oh well, they're gonna be paid now, or they.
And now you're boasting that this is the norm.
Yes.
Which is also
a
lie.
A lie.
Okay.
A lie.
Because let me tell you, the amount of past winners that have messaged and called my phone and say, Roxy, I get paid. This time I get paid.
But they need to be more vocal, because a lot of people behind the scenes and they're talking, and that's why even people will criticize that we're talking and acting like we're lying. But we're involved and we're speaking up, and there's nobody who could discredit the stuff that we're saying. We've been involved in Carnival so long, and you and I have been in the forefront fighting for respect for Calypsonians and proper pay and all this stuff. And if they're talking about Calypsonians had to wait another year, the next year, to get paid, you're probably talking about back in 1920. You know what I'm saying? We have been fighting for years to make things better.
Okay.
And we would never be going for a system where we have to be waiting to get paid. I remember there was a band that they tried to do a stunt like that too back in the days, and they ended up sort of crashing into a brick wall because you need us the next year. So the band told them, no, you're gonna pay us up front. And you got bands, then that's the game that's being played. Now we got to go and fight for $1. But key instrumental people, besides the Calypsonians and all of that, some of them are getting paid up front, but nobody really knows because that's my point. But that's why I put this table here, Roxy.
Come on.
That's why I put this table here. You see the Drak I was thinking?
It's sad, and to be honest, like after that comment on the podium, I've had someone say to me, listen.
Lies.
You've been talking about this one thing for so long. Now you finally get an answer, and it's BS.
Yeah.
Because it's still a lie.
Yeah.
Okay? But do me a favor. Talk about the parade, because we need our money too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Help. I see you helping them. Yes. Help me too.
Yes.
You understand? I got people messaging me from England that came down here to perform for August Monday and say, I thought it was only me.
Well, these guys, what I give them credit for is the consistency. Not only Calypsonians who abused seniors, juniors got abused, troops got abused, DJs got abused. They ain't leave nobody out. The babies to the old people with canes.
Yeah.
Nobody was left out. Everybody got some kind of form of abuse.
Of course.
And the stuff that you're talking about, this is like typical style. It reminds me of an airport issue I was talking about before. The talk was as if those people were paid out who are in close proximity of the airport. And I'm like, who would get paid and be allowed to stay? I could buy your house and you staying in it?
Okay.
I mean, come on now. Let's stop the nonsense. Let's be honest. But what happened is that you got people that believe they could lie their way out of anything. But of course, like they say, it snowballs. When you tell a lie here, you got to fix it up or whatever the deal is, it's going to keep on coming. But you have to tell a lie to get out of what of the mess that you're in.
Yeah.
And they're not catching that. Or they just believe that We are foolish.
But they get caught in the lies because, just as they make calls and they call this parent and say, hey, we should tell the parent the money is coming. The calls come right back to me.
Exactly.
They come right back to me. And it was before politics, it's during politics, and it's going to be after politics. The reality is that you should have stepped up. There should have been acknowledgement, number one. Yeah. There should have been a public apology.
Definitely.
Okay?
Definitely.
There should have been public knowledge, not this one person saying the Capitolians ain't getting paid. Where's the press release? Where's the information? What's the hold up? What's the plan? How we plan to pay them? Have we apologized to the parents? Have we apologized to the children? No, we have not.
But the hurtful part about it is that, Roxy, after they've done what they did, just like I said, an election is coming up now, right? So you have to face the music. You would think that the people will let them know what they felt about the disrespect for Carnival. That's one thing on it. But let's go beyond that. Carnival is going to come back again. If they're not there, who has to do the repairs of the damage that they did in the past? That's not sort of nasty, selfish for you to do that.
Of course.
I mean, so now you crush children, and I was going to say we, but people have to now fix this thing
all over again from scratch. It was broken.
From scratch.
It was broken before, and now it's a total wreck.
Yes.
Because I can't see myself now campaigning for, let me get a child to help mentor for the parent to see when my child don't get paid.
Who would want that? I really want to see who wants to even take on the job of a chairman or anything like that after the disaster last year. But
nothing is wrong with being transparent. I just don't understand why certain things were not acknowledged. Even the parade of troops, they came out with press releases. Nothing was being said. I know when people was talking about the GST, this coming off, this going on, whatever the case is. I saw there was a video the government made saying addressing GST rumors. So that means, you're seeing the other people talking about other things all the time.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you guys live, eat, and breathe, and sleep on Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
So people attacking you where they know.
That's the game. That's the game being played. That's the game being played. And unfortunately, those are the kind of politicians that we have in the country right now. And hopefully that would change because you can see where it's going. Or I can see where it's going. I don't know why people they're blind and they don't know what's happening. But all of the bad that we are doing today, you have to. It comes back to you. You're gonna have to pay for it. Like somebody said, I see the post today. It said it came back to haunt you.
Correct.
You didn't know this, but Roxy, we have to do a part 2.
Yeah, we can do a part 2. We got to go on. We
you gonna remember where we at?
We
ain't touch stick a pin in it.
The seniors yet. Man.
So look, we'll go at it again. This is supposed to be something that's
I think I see they make sure they pay the seniors so they wouldn't have nothing to say because they would have just been song after song after song after song.
Believe it or not, I'm hearing that some weren't fully paid.
What? I know I get a couple of calls. And
I got fully calls. And these things, like I said, if I don't have the receipts, I'm not going to think. So they don't have the I don't say courage or the gump to come in forward and say what is what. I'm going to leave that on the table. But maybe when you come back, I'll have receipts and we could move forward on things. And as well as we could talk about...
I got receipts for you. Doesn't you post my receipts?
I know you're good. We need more like you. But thank you so much. We're going to start from here and we'll continue whenever you're ready again.
For sure.
And I'll be real soon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we got also, we have to give the people enough information within a week. Because there's a lot of decisions to be made within a week, as well as this is something that I want us to continue doing just to give the people the correct information. So,
of course,
for those that are undecided or not sure of what's going on and need to, we're here to help them now as far as that is concerned.
If that helps
but there'll be other things, we'll keep going.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some people that want the yellow shirts, and they said you the contact person. So we're gonna talk about that.
You know where to find me. I ain't hiding.
But thank you so much for coming.
For sure. Respect.
You done all the time.
Always.
All right.
Reason the bar.